What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm yours truly, Zeke 410, the fearless, charismatic leader of the faction known as A-Lock Kingdom. Today is basically a real quick video. It is a positive video in my mind. If you've been following me, thank you to those who have been subscribing me. I would like to do this channel to basically help those who play WWE Champions. Expect more content along the way. But basically, this is a video to basically help get our voices out. And I want people who watch this video to please leave comments so that hopefully when this video gets released and shared, Scopely takes a peek and gets a listen to the views of us, the players that are in WWE Champions. What I really want is there's a lot of free-to-play players and pay-to-play players, and pay-to-play players are always going to have the advantage. You're always going to have those people who are dropping tons and tons of cash into this game, and it's understandable. You need the further your progress, you need to get your superstars up faster for your feuds, and I understand and respect that, and I cannot deny that because I do pay to play as well. But on the other side, there are people who grind it out really hard, and I give props to all those players who have been steadfast and patient and have farmed and farmed and farmed and gotten tons and tons of 3 stars homegrown and didn't drop a dollar into this game. But ultimately, I feel that there are things within the game that can be done that can help both pay to play players save money and free to play players move forward in progression, that way that it's equal grounds and everyone has a chance. Now, obviously, these are just suggestions and ideas. Doesn't mean that they're going to be cleared. Does not mean that they're going to show up. But I am optimistic that at least Scopely could be reasonable and hear some of these ideas, and maybe, just maybe, we might see something come up, and that would be amazing for the community. So let's get started. First off, I feel that maybe having limited time tours that give evolve bags should be done. Now, obviously, because how valuable tokens are, and how much these things are like hard to come by, I feel that obviously this may be a little iffy, but I also feel like maybe if Scopely, if they did this around the big four events, like they ran them a week long, like so the limited class tours for the acrobats and the powerhouses, etc., instead of getting that pretentious crown or getting that trampoline, instead you would get a evolve bag for a 2 star gold to a 3 star bronze and hard, and maybe possibly a 2 star bronze to 2 star silver, or 2 star silver to 2 star gold bag in the normals. Now, obviously, like I said, possibly running these around the big four events like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. It would be nice to see. It could possibly happen this year. This is celebrating the 1 year anniversary of Champions, so maybe we get to see it, maybe we don't, but it would be nice to see and it would benefit everybody. Next up, a daily login calendar and monthly in-game newsletter or letters. Login calendars could perhaps contain certain champions at 1 star to 2 star. Coins, a lot of coins, like maybe like 50,000 or 100,000 coins just for logging in each day. Evolve bags, if not in the tours, maybe they're given out through a code or something, possibly. More cash. The 25 daily is cool, but that is not going to be enough. Like literally, you'd have to save up a month's worth and then some just to do one mega superstar pool. So maybe getting some more cash would help out, like maybe 100 a day or so, or maybe even just 500, so you can do a pool right then and there. You can get very lucky with single pools. Um, 3 star, 4 star tokens to enhance your superstars. Obviously, your 3 star superstars, um, as well as maybe rainbow bags for TP. 50 TP rainbow bags, or like 100, maybe even like at the very end. So maybe possibly and Marvel Contest of Champions is incredible for doing this. They have a daily login calendar where basically it's usually there's a special event calendar sometimes, and then you have your 7 daily login where they give you shards so you can pull superstars. So maybe Scopely could consider something like this, like a 7 daily where they give you enough cash at the end of the week. You're able to do a one mega superstar pool, or possibly even do running an event for a specific superstar, to celebrate somebody. So like, let's say somebody wins, like let's say Shinsuke wins at WrestleMania. So like right after WrestleMania, we have like for a month, we have like everybody gets like a 1-star Shinsuke, or if you already have him, you get duplicate TP for him, and like just by logging in every single day afterwards in celebration of him winning that championship, or even if Balor wins, at WrestleMania, or so on and so forth, like something special. It doesn't have to be run every single month, but like at 1 month, like just how we're having HBK right now, like doing something like that. Like you basically log in every single day, and at the very end of the month, by logging in every single day, you are rewarded this superstar. Maybe even doing that like to introduce the one of the divas. I don't know. It is only a suggestion. Next up, three 6-man tag matches, 3-man tags. Basically, we got the Shield. We have Evolution in here. We got the New Day in here. We got the Wyatt family. We got plenty of classes. We got plenty of superstars. Why not have a 6-man tag match? It is possible. They did have ideas, I believe, to do a tag feud before, which I still would like to see. Those mechanics would be very, very interesting to see. But next to that, 6-man tag. Just adding a third guy on shouldn't be hard. There's plenty of links to be used that could help everybody out, and it would be fair, and it would make the game a lot more interesting, especially if you ran a blitz like that. That would be pretty cool. Following the links, improving links. One thing that's very interesting to me is Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor. What do all these guys have in common? NXT. They were all members of NXT before they came to the main roster, but NXT is nowhere to be found on their tag links. This is just the one that's to my mind. Like I said, leave comments like to help out. Leave comments to point out certain issues that could be addressed and certain things that could be fixed or added to this game. But definitely, those are some top guys right there, and they don't have the NXT link. Now, I can understand what Scopely would be doing if they're doing this just to have people not be OP, because if you have a Shinsuke and a Bobby together, basically what you're going to have is this. You're basically going to have an NXT link and a SmackDown link. Both links give you 1 MP right from the jump, and if you got a trainer on either of those two, basically it's going to be game over. Same way if you ran it with like if Cass and Bray had NXT links because they were both in NXT, you know, automatic overkill immediately, but it would make the game fun, it would make it challenging, and it would be equal to everybody, since obviously, those links would count into the tag links and verses as well. So it would do some harm, but it would do some good, and it would make matches way more entertaining. So please try to improve some tag links, make some tag links better, get rid of some if you have to. Whatever you got to do, it's a give and take situation. Next up, add an additional match to daily class tours, and basically with these additional matches would include the 3-star, 4-star tokens for completion. So let's say again, like back to basically like the evolve bags. If we couldn't get the evolve bags, maybe having an extra match after the tags in the normal and the hard, so that allow you an opportunity to go for the higher tier tokens. So like maybe possibly after you beat Kalisto and Sin Cara for the trampoline, another node opens up behind them and it's another tag. Maybe it's possibly, I don't know, like AJ Styles and Macho Man. And if you beat them, then you get like a HBK cap, or maybe even one of the capes for the 4-star. It could always alternate. It could be random. Also, following that, it would be nice to see the champions be switched out. I mean, it's cool to have the same people, get down with the program, the same run through every single week. But knowing how many champions we have, it would be cool to face other champions in the different classes every single week, or switching them out, so that way we could see them and see what their moves do, and it could better help us to prepare for them in future feuds. Next up, a better following feuds, a better in-game messenger. Maybe like you just how we have the global chat. Maybe you can make a node for faction chat, so that way we can switch between the global and the faction to talk to our faction mates without logging all the way in. Maybe even having a possible anonymous heal plug-in, where you see the heal button, you see that someone needs it, you press it, boom, you've healed your faction mate without going all the way into the faction, and you can continue your progress in the tour. Because I know sometimes gets old. You're in the middle of a tour, you see a bunch of notifications, people need heals or you need help. Then you got to close out of the tour to go to the faction HQ, and then you got to go into the chat. Then you got to wait for it to load up, and then hit heal on everybody, and then you go back out of the HQ and everything just to go back to the tour. It can get old. It can get old, and it can get discouraging or very irritable. So maybe possibly making an option, the switch between faction chat and global chat right there, and then having a button on the side so you can heal your faction mates and continue your progress without leaving out of a tour or leaving out of verses. Next up after that, following that, again, just like the whole thing with the tours that I suggested, rotating out the champions more. We always get the champions rotated out usually. A couple, you get the mega superstar, the featured mega superstar, and maybe like a couple of like three other superstars at 3 star. But basically, everybody's the same, and we got so many superstars in here now. I don't think it would hurt Scopely and Champions to basically put these superstars in, making a 2 star gold powerhouse Brock Lesnar now. Making a 2 star gold AJ and Balor, and putting them in the mega superstars now. Switching them out. Basically, that's what I'm thinking right now. That would be real cool. Same with the premiums. Even putting like Balor, Shinsuke, Braun, Showboat Braun, Rude, Corbin, just like how the anniversary loot was. Putting them all at 1 star in premiums. That would be cool, because it's still going to take some time and some grind and some blitzes or just daily plays to get your premium chips or your 2 star chips up, just to get those superstars. So why not make it worth it and just switch them out, put them down in the premiums for once, at 1 star, 2 star bronze, what have you, or 1 star gold, or the 2 star in the 2 star chips for silver or bronze or gold, and switch it up, because it'd be really cool for everyone to have an even playing field. Like, it's understandable, and I respect those who do have like the rosters filled out, who do have the Warriors, that do have the Lugers, that do have the Macho Mans. I give you nothing but respect, y'all. You do what you do because you love this game. You want nothing but the best for your faction and your teammates, as well as your own progress. But it would also be cool for other players who can't afford the game, who have other responsibilities, who have other situations going on, like we all do, to also have a chance, another proper chance that's fair. And no one can really, people are going to complain regardless, but it would still be cool for having another equal level playing ground again, by rotating out the champions so that everyone gets a shot. Next up, I have is what I feel would really be cool, is an NXT Performance Center in factions to help players improve their champions. Basically, like a Pokemon daycare. You put your superstar in there, you leave them in there, just like the expeditions. You send this superstar out on a mission or something or whatnot, and then you come back and collect. Maybe when you come back, when you collect your superstar, they've got a couple tokens with them. They've got some TP for their move set and something like that. Maybe it would be cool to see that, just to know, like that, because basically you can have certain superstars that you can just like leave in there, And then by the time you get them out, maybe you have enough to get them up to 2-star or 3-star, whatnot, so you can move forward with easier progression while focusing on other superstars and focusing on grinding out your resources. Maybe, but it's still cool. And also possibly allowed the players to duel with other teammates with XP going towards the faction while teaching players how to prepare for certain champions. So like another thing that I seen from a Marvel Contest of Champions like is you can get basically in these alliances that are factions, you can duel a teammate, and basically you can you can duel a teammate and pick a champion to fight. And so you could basically do this by fighting with your champions like on a level playing ground. Obviously, like how a practice mode would be, and like endless turns, and basically keep on playing against them so you can figure out your champion's move set. You can figure out the opponent's move set, like what they can do, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, how long it takes for them to get their moves by getting collecting gems, so on and so forth. And helps you prepare and helps a lot of players prepare for future feuds. So I think that would be cool just to see like a little performance center in there, like a little daycare, or just seeing a little practice ground so like everyone can go in there. It gains XP since you are doing something within the faction with your faction mates, and it like just like with expeditions or whatnot, it shouldn't affect your superstar. You could still put put a superstar in there, but it like with the training grounds, but you don't get affected. Like they're not going to suffer any damage whatsoever. They're going to be absolutely fine. But when it comes to the thing like the daycare, obviously the superstar would have to stay in there in order for them to accumulate the proper resources and tokens and TP. Next up, better Blitz rewards. Blitz rewards have been awful, and I feel that there shouldn't even be tickets just because of how bad these rewards have been. Now, granted, if you're getting started and you get lucky with a couple pulls, or you just know what to do right out the bat because you got a great faction and great teammates, or just listen to people, because I highly do recommend the Facebook community, the WWE Champions community. It's a great place, a knowledgeable place, great players, experienced players that will help you and will help you further your progress. But honestly, like quite frankly, man, the Blitz rewards are just awful. They're not really good. Like even with the the premium chips and the 2-star chips, looking at how the pull rates are and everything, you're getting more dupes than anything. Duplicates are good, but it also gets irritating to know that you're grinding it out for so long to do something, to pull for something, and hoping for something better, and you don't get nothing at all. And that's the same with these blitzes. We get so many variants of these blitzes. Sometimes the requirements are absolutely ludicrous. Like there's no chance in hell, like Vince would say, that of you even doing it a blitz. Same with some feuds. And really, it's very unfortunate because blitzes like with as many matches as you have to do. Maybe start changing it up. Put nothing but like token cases, like 4 to 5 token cases. Maybe like 1,000 cash, maybe like 100,000 coins, things that are going to really entice players to play, give them incentive to play and want to play it because they know it's going to benefit them. I get 1,000 cash, that's 2 mega superstar pools. That could come in handy, or that's a couple tokens, that's a couple toolboxes for feuds or blitzes, so on and so forth. Even doing more, getting more of the pro toolboxes, that would be great. So just better rewards, man. Better rewards. Make it worth it. Give me 400 chips so I can do a pull right then and there. Give me 10,000 chips so I can do a pull right then and there. Give me enough to do a mega superstar pull for going up against like a 8,000, a 8,000 Mahal or something. Make it worth it. Don't torture us. Don't make it look like we're getting something great for free and then it's not even worth it. It's not worth it. It just better rewards. Just better rewards, please. Next up, more theme feuds with easier requirements. Requirements are a pain in the ass. It's a it's a it's a very enticing way to make you spend your money. That's the best way I could put it, because there's certain people that you're going to need. There was one feud where you needed Perfect, and obviously Perfect was 3-star. There was a feud but prior where you needed Seth Rollins and George Animal Steel, and obviously the only way you were getting Steel was if you pulled him in for 3-star. So certain requirements have left certain factions out of the loop. Hence why other factions are able to capitalize and move forward. And I'm not against that because they have the superstar required to get into the faction feud and to participate just like everybody else. But obviously, knowing that you're going up against the Mr. Perfect that was just released at 3-star silver, come on now. Like, you uh, make it viable. Bring back the feuds. Like I remember in the beginning, like we had feuds where you had like the Raw and the SmackDown feud, but you got to use all the classes. That was cool. Bring back feuds like that. Like it might be all hell. It might be Armageddon. It might be war games, elimination chamber, and Hell in a Cell all wrapped in one because of that. But it would make feuds so much fun. So much fun just to pull out things. Man, I've been sitting on my AJ waiting for a fuse, and I'm glad that I'm finally able to use him. But it's like for so long I was sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna get my AJ into this feud. I'm gonna get my Owens into this feud, and I couldn't do jack squat, man. So like that kind of hurts. And knowing that they could have helped out my faction so much, heartbreaking, heartbreaking. So please better requirements for feuds so everyone can join in on the fun and have a shot for that number one spot. And even if they don't get to the number one spot, we can have a great time going for it. The tag feud, maybe like where maybe the tag feud where pairings of players must clear their opponents to acquire max points. So pairing up with people, obviously that would require more than 5 faction mates in this, and so obviously that might cause a serious amount of lag or whatnot, but it would be interesting to see. Maybe even like a war games theme, like where with a timer, like since it was 60 minutes again, maybe like a war games like theme where like every 5 minutes, like a new player enters in, and it's like that race all the way to the end for that 5th player to get in, and then they got to try to clear all their people before the timer runs out. That would be so freaking sick. It's just a cool idea, but a War Games themed feud would be freaking awesome. Even a Royal Rumble feud with like, one member, like where 30 members select a champion and each member gets a match, like leading up to 30. That would be pretty decent too. Like, there's so much stuff that y'all could do, man. It would be so sick, so sick. And I haven't forgotten what I said on Twitter too. Please, Ken Shamrock's birthday was the other day. Please bring him the champions, man. Bring Ken Shamrock the champions. Maybe a technician, definitely. Possibly a striker. Corporation tag link. Like, we need more champions too. We've got a lot, but man, I got the WWE encyclopedia that y'all got stock. There's plenty of for y'all to work with. Cause if you got Brutus Beefcake Shears in there, I know Brutus Beefcake has to be in there. And I'm looking for that Jake the Snake Roberts too. Um, Finally, this one is very iffy, and it probably will not happen. Like this is probably the most least likely to happen. No more health packs. And the reason why I say this is because I grew up on WWE games. And never once when I played SmackDown versus Raw did they require me to use health packs after a match. You retried, you tried again until you got it. Until you got lucky. I feel that that should be brought to champions. You know what I mean? Now, this is what I feel like. This is the one thing that I would say about it to make it fair. If I could use my superstars over and over again to get retries or, to quit and go back into a match and have full health. Now, that does eliminate some things with the faction because that takes away the heel side. But I also feel that it also brings factions more together because then you don't have people arguing over heels. You also have people communicating more and strategizing, and it brings a better focal point for a community. Now, also, what I'm basically saying is like when with this, what would happen is basically like if they did approach this with no more health packs. I'm just saying now from regular play, like your tours and everything, your verses, no health packs, no healing whatsoever. Like you can keep going over and over and over and over again, retries. But when it comes to your blitzes and your feuds, what I feel should happen is if you get beaten the blitz, obviously all the way down to zero, you're done, you're out. That's the ball game. With feuds, though, what would happen is if you lost your superstar in that feud, basically they would count as knocked off. They basically be injured for that entire time until you were out of that feud. And when that feud was done and everything reset, then they would be full health again. But basically, like same way with blitzes, like if you don't clear them, then you don't clear them. Like you don't get a second chance, basically. But so that's basically what I was just thinking because a lot of WWE games there is the proof literally that you can do games like there have been WWE games where you lost, you just hit retry, try again, you go back in, and it was easy without worrying about health packs because now you got a health packs. You got some people, they don't know how to save. Some people don't have certain superstars to help their progression easier. So some people end up having to sit and wait. Some people go burn through their bags, so then they don't have those health packs, or they don't even do the expeditions, or so on and so forth. There's always going to be a reason why someone don't have no health packs. There's always going to be a reason for something. But this would help out all these people. It also help out the factions with just being able to talk instead of always being cluttered with heels and then getting mad because no one's getting healed. So these are just a couple of suggestions. 10 simple suggestions. The limited tours for Evolve bags around SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. Daily login calendar, or monthly newsletter, basically the updates of the game, the things, the future events that are supposed to be coming, the mega superstars that are supposed to be rolling in, when the feuds, the blitzes are going, when versus starts, when versus ends, so on and so forth. Log in every day. You get you get coins, you get cash, you get TP, you get token cases, anything that helps players' progression. Next up would be 6-man tag matches, as well as improving links, adding certain specific links to people. Then followed by that, basically the connecting to the first one, adding an additional match to the daily tours so that we can basically further our progression. A better messenger system so that everyone can keep in touch, as well as a heal button to automatically heal people. Rotating out all the champions, the NXT Performance Center that acts like a daycare to raise superstars, as well as allow people to face their teammates to gain more XP while also learning how to play against champions. Better blitz rewards, more theme feuds with easier requirements so everyone can play, and no more health packs. I hope that you like this video, and again, please leave a like if you found this useful, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and also leave your comments so that we can make this game better. Thank you again. I'm Zeke410, A Lock 4444 for life.